Good morning and praise the Lord. In my last week's message, I spoke about how our society attempts to manage people in their condition. And if you manage someone in poverty, that is where they stay. I've also spoken about the two divisive elements in our society, race and economic development. I've also spoken about four intertwining and integrated principles that either builds or inhibits the growth of our society. These are education, safety, economic development, and health and human services. When there is educational and economic development investment, there's also low safety and human service needs. What we are looking to build is an apparatus based on sound public policy that will define a formula for a sustainable education and economic development platform for all communities. Both of these principles are a function of governmental investment. What I'm advocating is how our society, our government, invests in people that supports and undergirds the long-term future for every community. It's about how our society invests in people by creating the necessary public policy that supports and undergirds the long-term future for every community. In the area of education, Illinois ranks 50 out of 50 states in their investment in education as a portion of tax revenues. This level of spending ensures that a quality education is not possible in Illinois for everyone. In Illinois, poorer school districts spend $2,500 less per student than wealthier schools. Here's the critical question. How do we allow those that represent us to continue to shortchange our children's future with no accountability, to marginalize and minimize their ability to compete in a growth society in the richest country in the world? If we are ever to make an impact in this one critical issue, it must be done now. The candidates that desire for us to vote for them must clearly define their approach to education. There are those that would say that the school districts, especially Chicago, should manage and utilize their funds more effectively. But given the current level of investment in Illinois, better management will not bring about better educational outcomes. This does not mean that better management is not an issue. It is just not a solution that produces educational equity. There are some that recommend that we redistribute the current allocation of our budget. But if you start with a deficit, redistributing a deficit does not change the outcome. There are those that propose charter schools, contract schools, vouchers, and the idea of choice are possible solutions. But these are only educational delivery systems that have been proven not to provide system-wide improvements in education. Let me put it this way. In any business, including education, one must look at how critical assets are utilized and improved. It is well known that the critical assets in education are principals and teachers. The better the educational leader and the teachers that follow, the better the schools and the student outcomes. We hear about international baccalaureate schools, high schools, STEM schools, selective high schools, and elementary schools. We see capital investment in building of new schools, new curriculum mechanisms, after-school programs, parental involvement in children's education, safe passage programming, and what is known as wraparound services. But there is little conversation from our elected officials concerning investment in principals and teachers. There are those that are critical of our principals and teachers and have created extensive critique mechanisms and measurements and requirements without the necessary investment to achieve the desired outcome. As you listen to the rhetoric of our public officials and as you evaluate who you will support, listen to what they say about educational equity and their proposed investment in principals and teachers. Listen to what they have to say about how to change the tax policy in order to achieve balanced investment in education for all children. During this election season, You will hear about individual successes and individual investments that candidates have made. But if the system is inequitable, describing an individual success will not provide for population outcomes. It will take political leadership, investment, and innovation to address this well-known and unfunded issue. It will take someone who has the courage to speak out now about these past inequities and how they will fix them in the future. Next Sunday, I will speak on economic development and the coordination of resources. Finally, the way you can get their attention is to vote. In today's world, they are only interested in those that vote, because there are those that do not vote. They are the ones that are not represented. It is only those that vote that get represented. Place your confidence in yourself and vote. Thank you for listening, and please enjoy our worship service. May God bless you, and may God keep you.